Hi everybody. It's Thursday morning, 10:20. Left Connecticut at 8:30. All goes well. No delays or problems. Scheduled to get home to the Virginia Homestead at 6:30. I already experienced a little delay coming through Danbury, Connecticut. Kind of timed it poorly and went through kind of in rush hour. But I don't think it's a significant delay, but 6:30-ish, let's just say. I picked up a lawn tractor or leaf vac. I want to start mulching up my leaves and in the fall, and then even now in the summer when I mow, suck up a lot of the grass. I want to start doing some extensive composting to make soil for next year. And I know the leaves might take a few years depending. I think you mix it with the grass, it speeds it up a little, whatever. I gotta experiment with it. I don't pretend to be an expert at it, so I won't speak too much to it, only to say that I am going to attempt to make my own compost. And so, in some respects, coming back to Connecticut, it was nice to see people anyway, family and friends. But I toy with the idea of just trying to find something local down there. But this is an old Simplicity tractor, and I want to say maybe late 80s, early 90s, and I'm not really 100% sure. But guy at our church, he's like real meticulous with his maintenance and stuff like that, and all his vehicles and everything he has, and the thing was in really nice shape, and I'm really confident buying something from him because of the way he is. And so I got a good deal on it too, so I did make the decision to travel back and pick it up. And I was running the '01 Tahoe, so we've been having some issues with it, making a lot of trips back and forth. We racked up the miles and had 133,000 and change, which they say for that 5.3 Chevy motor isn't terrible. They'll go for a while, but I was having some suspension issues. One of the U-joints was going, and there's other things too. Was going to need tires pretty soon, brakes, and then there were some, like I say, some other issues that I was a little concerned about going forward with the tranny and stuff like that. So just of course it's all God thing, because he just laid it all out. I was actually home in Connecticut for 3 days, 4 days, but one of them was Sunday, so not really business day for like auto, because it was Memorial Day weekend. So Sunday and Monday the dealership was closed, where I found this '06 Toyota Sequoia. The mileage was right, it's 12 years old, but it's only got 82,000 miles, and it was in nice shape. SR5 loaded, the price was right, so I went ahead and washed out the Tahoe and got into this, and that was hopefully a decent move. I'm sure it was. But I want to talk about church for a moment. So my wife and I, of course, as y'all know, are moving, or I have moved. She's moving at the end of the school year, beginning of the summer, sometime in July, as soon as the house is ready for her, to Virginia. So I've been looking for a church down there, good church, and visiting different churches and just trying to get a feel. And we've been praying about it. We want to find the church where God wants us. So my wife, I actually met her at the church that we attended in Connecticut. She'd been a member there for 23 years, 20-something years, not really sure. It was over 22 years, 23, 24 years. I've been going there about 5 years. So actually coming about 6. It'll be 6 in October. And that's where I met her. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful church. Like, we got a pastor that has a heart of gold. He truly loves everybody, and of course, the most important thing, it's Bible believing, Bible preaching church. It's not an ear tickler, fluff, feel-good church. He preaches the full gospel. You know, some of it makes you feel good, some of it kind of slaps you in the face. But I believe that's the sign of a good church. Like a lot of these big churches, you know, isn't an indictment on any specific church, but generally there are a lot of like these mega churches. They'll just preach the good stuff, the ear ticklers, you know, just get the numbers in. That's what they're about. And fortunately, I'm thankful to God that, you know, he brought me to the church that he did at home through a co-worker of mine who witnessed to me, you know, several times and invited me to church several times. Finally, I went. I ended up getting saved, met my wife. I mean, it's just all God, you know, all God, you know. And so now going to Virginia and looking for a church, it's been a process. And I've been there 6 weeks. I've visited 6 different churches in the area. There are a lot of churches down there. There were some decent ones. And my wife and I have been praying about it, you know, where God would have us serve. It's hard because I find myself comparing the churches that I visit to the one I belong to in Connecticut. And, you know, I don't know how to get past that. I'm praying about it, but that's just such a home. I mean, we have people there that are really like family to us. And some churches you visit, you know, it's pretty apparent right off the bat that it's not really where I'm supposed to be for whatever reason. Those are the easy ones, right? Because then you know and you move on. But then you get the good ones. And I visited a couple. And I find myself comparing them, and I probably shouldn't, but it's very hard not to. So when I went back, I attend our church when I go back to visit, of course. And it just makes, you know, it just reiterates the whole thing like, wow, you know, I'm never going to find a church like this. This is like our home. And so just dealing with that and seeing family and friends, and it's nice to get back, I guess, right? It's nice to go back. You know, I keep saying go back home, but really that's not my home anymore. And you know, making a new life in Virginia, trying to finish the house so my wife can come down and join me, and that's all going pretty smooth. But a lot of changes. You know, we've talked about in other videos, mutual assistant groups, community, having a network of people. It's hard. It's hard when you start out in a new area, you don't know anybody. You got all this other stuff, you know, I'm trying to renovate a house, there's certain things that I can do in the renovation process. I'm trying to do as much as I can. I did all the gutting, I did electrical work, I did majority of the plumbing. Obviously, like building the kitchen cabinets, wasn't going to do that. And, you know, I got to give thanks to God because he led us to the right people. We met a guy down there, semi-retired, you know, takes on a few projects here and there, and met him through another guy that I met down there, and he did the cabinets. They were very reasonably priced. They're absolutely gorgeous. He's very meticulous. He did a nice job. So, but it's just, you know, those things, like I was looking for a heating and air guy because not much with that either. The heat pump needs to be serviced and it's got a few issues. And I think I got a guy lined up. I talked to him before I left. He's going to come down sometime next week. And so, you know, it's everything, right? It's trying to find these people to help out with the project so I can move that forward. It's trying to find a church. You know, trying to somehow meet and build a community of like-minded people. Have made absolutely no progress yet with that. I actually met one of my neighbors. He's an older guy. A couple years ago when I first bought the house, I met him, and he's been a blessing in a lot of ways, very helpful to us, and he's a great neighbor. So I guess that's the start of the community, right? You know, we're getting there. They're getting there. But it's just one of those things, like, takes time. It takes time. And it's, when we look at what I believe the day is drawing close, right? Then you feel the crunch of that time. You feel the pressure of that time, like, creeping up on you. And it is what it is. You do the best you can with what you have, you know, and where you're at the moment. It seems to me I heard that somewhere before. But just want to give you an update and let you know. So I'm on the road today. Picked up the lawn tractor, should be there. I said 6:30, but I just noticed mile marker, not milestone, what's the right word I'm looking for? Landmark, 73 miles away, which going, 65, 70 puts me at just over an hour away. Normally, that would be 2.5 hours from when I leave, which would be 11. So I guess I lost a half an hour coming through the traffic in Danbury. And not terrible, but it's the first leg of the journey. So half an hour here, half an hour there. I like to get there before dark. Be there sometime tonight. It's a long ride. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for listening. God bless you.